The great mystery is not bringing souls to Christ. The great mystery is how can God bring people who are so different from each other and make them one body. I will build my church, Matthew 16:18, and all the gates of hell means the powers of spiritual death. Hades is a word referring to the place of the dead. So gates of Hades means the powers of spiritual death. The powers of spiritual death will try to crush your life out of you, but they will not be able to do it. You will overpower it. That's the meaning of the resurrection. Jesus overcame Hades and the power of death. And the church is supposed to do that. See, it's the powers of spiritual death that bring conflict in a church, that bring conflict in your home. And they're always trying to overpower you. But Jesus said, the church that I build, if you get revelation on it, you will build a church, the gates of hell will not be able to overpower it. Satan will not be able to come in. And that depends on unity right at the center, in the leadership. That is why I keep stressing that if God is building a church in any place, He will usually start with two people who are dissimilar from each other. And He will make them one as a demonstration to Satan that here are two people who are completely opposite to each other, and I have made them one. You know, this is how it was in the church in Bangalore. Let me tell you a little bit. That God began this work through Brother Ian Robson and myself, and we are different in every possible way. He's an Anglo-Indian and I'm a Malayali. And you go through India, you'll never find Malayalis and Anglo-Indians getting on together, anywhere. Malayalis are a pretty proud bunch. They're the closest to the Pharisees I've seen in this land. And I suppose the Anglo-Indians are like that too. But they never get along with each other. If you don't believe me, just go around and see how many Malayalis and Anglo-Indians work together. You'll never find it. You who are Malayalis here, tell me how many Anglo-Indian friends you have. You don't have to go far to find out. They just don't hit it off with each other in this country. And God in His great wisdom brought two of us together. And if you know Him and you know me, you'll see we are completely different from each other in every possible way. And God said, I'm going to make you the beginning of church, but you'll both have to die to your own individual preferences and choices. And we are very different as individuals, and in the beginning we were very careful not to hurt each other. Like, in a marriage during the honeymoon period, you don't argue with each other or anything. You keep quiet about everything. But we got over that honeymoon period pretty quickly, and then we began to be frank with each other. And we said, now our bond is strong enough, we can handle saying, I don't agree with you. No scare, we won't break up. And now we have experienced that for 41 years, and I want to tell you, not one single day have we broken fellowship in 41 years. But we are different. And we have expressed our differences, but we are one. And that is the main reason why in 41 years, Satan has never been able to come inside our church. Never. He's tried so many ways through the years. And he and I know that. We have faced all types of problems from outside. But it never broke our fellowship, because right in the leadership were two people who had become really one. We don't agree with each other in everything. Let me show you what the Bible says in Ephesians 4. We want to find a scriptural basis for everything. Ephesians 4, it says, I want to put two verses together. And the two verses are Ephesians 4, verse 3 plus verse 13. So read verse 3 and verse 13 together. It reads like this. Be diligent, that means work hard, to preserve the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace until we reach the unity of the faith. So we haven't reached the unity of the faith, but until we reach the unity of the faith, which is until we agree 100% on every single thing, what should we do? Preserve the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. So it's very honest here. Okay, you haven't arrived at that perfect understanding of all the details of the faith. Never mind. Preserve the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace until we arrive at the unity of the faith and the perfect knowledge of the Son of God as a mature man to the measure of the stature of which belongs to the fullness of Christ. That's coming. But that's a long way off. But until we reach that perfect measure of a mature, perfect, exactly like the Son of God, verse 13, that fullness that belongs to Christ, till we get there, what should we do? Preserve the unity of the Spirit. And that's what I would say to every married couple here. That's what I'd say to every elder. You don't have to have the whole church united. That's almost impossible. But if you can have the leadership united, that will spread. And there's a little core that starts with 2 and becomes 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 8. And there's a core that's kept increasing in Bangalore. It's not just 2 now. A core of people. And it's not all the people who came right at the beginning. Some of the people who came at the beginning are not even here. And some who have sat here for years are not in that core. But there are others God has brought who really willing to pay the price. And I'll come to in a moment to how to build this core. That's what's preserved the church. That's like saying in a family, what will preserve the unity of the family? Children quarreling with each other aren't important. Every home children quarrel. Husband and wife should not quarrel. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because husband and wife are the leaders of the family, the elders in the family. If they are perfectly united, let the children quarrel like anything. That family will be strong. The devil will not be able to come in that home, no matter how much the children quarrel. But the moment the father and mother start quarreling, the children being united is no use. There'll be a divorce. The family is broken up. So what do you think the devil is aiming at? He's not aiming at the children fighting with each other. He knows he'll accomplish nothing there. He's always aiming to bring a division between husband and wife. He's always aiming to bring division among the elders. Because if he succeeds there, he's broken the family. Paul said we are not ignorant of the schemes of Satan. And that's why we don't find body